see how we're gonna deal with it. Okay, so this is what we're dealing with. There's not much left of the trailing arms supports, but we are changing them anyways. Here the t-shirts also, we have them. These are the main components that are always failing on these frames, but also there are some issues here at the back, but these are easy to fix, like here. And where else did I notice things? Well, we're gonna clean it up now and we will find out, but here I see that the metal started growing up, which means there's a rust inside. I have the tool that I invented, so that's gonna help us to position the trailing arms in the right position. First, let me clean it a little bit, and then we're gonna go from there. Oh! Alright, that wasn't that hard. So this whole area here has been cleaned all over the place. Only underneath I haven't cleaned, but at some point we're gonna flip the frame and we're gonna clean underneath there too. But otherwise, all the nooks and crannies, everything is cleaned as far as I could reach, and with this tool, with the needler scaler, it works fantastic. That came from Eugene. Again, if you don't know, Eugene is somebody who is giving me tools all the time, like fantastic guy. I don't know how to thank him enough. And yeah, with this I managed to clean all over the place here, and I only found one issue that requires attention, and that's right here. And again, with this tool it was so easy to find it because this was almost not showing here. I don't know if you see it well. With the needle scaler, these little holes became huge, so I can see them, and I can see that underneath it's rotten too. So this part requires attention here, but everything else is in a pretty good shape. Managed to clean even here inside. This with a wire wheel, for example, you can never reach there. So that works great. Oh, here I forgot to try. Okay, so we're gonna keep cleaning now. We're gonna go through everything, and only then we're gonna start repairing it. Well, I started cleaning here where I told you I forgot to try, and actually we have a serious problem there. Look at that. It's not that bad. Okay, it's not that bad actually. There is a little hole here, so we're gonna have to figure out a way to repair it. Maybe we're gonna cut a piece out of here, gonna repair that hole, and then we're gonna put this back together. What's that? Yes, I did check the other side, and it is fine. So we keep going here. Okay, so the whole top side is done. It is just cleaned up, all the nooks and crannies, and there are a few issues here and there that need to be fixed, but in general it is good. Mostly over there, you see at the back, there are some holes over there, and there are holes there and here as well. There's a little hole here, and things like that, just little things. So I'm gonna flip it now to clean it underneath as well, and once it is cleaned, I'm gonna start with these repairs here. I'm gonna cut out pieces and start welding new ones. Okay, so here I can see few things that are concerning right away. One of them being, the most concerning thing being that this bar also, this side is rotten. You see my fingers there? So luckily the one inside is pretty much solid in one piece. There are holes here, but it's in one piece because I was afraid that if this and these are gone, then this can collapse here. And the same thing there. This wall of this bar is rotten as well, but this side here is good. So that's pretty good. This means that maybe we can add a support here in the middle when we start working on it, and then we can cut out this, and hopefully she's not gonna sag in any way. For sure we will have to be careful about that. So that's one thing. The other thing that I see right away is this. There is a big crack here, and that's why it snapped also from there. So I'm gonna have to fix that. And here somebody jacked it up. Let me go on the other side. I don't know if somebody jacked it up here or what happened, but this mount for the transmission is totally screwed, but that's not so hard to be fixed. Here's where I told you in the front this is rotten, and of course we will have to change the trailing arm supports. Somebody did a really weird repair here. Wow. Wow. Whatever. Okay, so let's clean this side as well, and we'll proceed with the repairs. Alright, so it is relatively clean, so we can start with the repairs. And I think I should start with this part here, because I want to make it as solid as possible before I start yanking and pulling, for example, here to straighten this. Because I think this bar here is not in a bad shape. I mean, it is in a bad shape, but it's not in such a bad shape that it's gonna sag or anything when I cut this, because this doesn't provide any support anyway. But I still want to be on the safe side, so we're gonna put supports here. We're gonna move the supports for the frame in such position that it's gonna be pretty much balanced, so it's not gonna try to sag down, or the two ends don't hang and try to bend it up in the middle. So we're gonna put one support here and one here, and we'll try to balance them somehow. And then we're gonna cut this out. We're gonna cut the t-shirt. We will have to fix this bar first. You will see it's all rotten here now. Probably you don't see, but you're gonna see when I take these parts out here. And we're gonna make this solid, and then probably we're gonna replace this box. But before I cut this out, I want to make sure that this stays in the same place. So maybe I should put my support underneath from my tool, and for this reason I flipped it again, so we can install this support here. So that's again part of my jig, which holds this arm and this arm together so they don't move. So it looks like they match. Just clean up these holes. Matches perfectly, which means that this arm is on the right place. And now I think we can start taking apart. We're gonna work on one side first and then the other. I moved this support a little bit backwards, so now I think we're pretty balanced here, and we can start cutting. Even though I don't think this provides any support in this condition, so I'm not afraid that when I cut it, it's gonna just collapse. But just in case, you know. Okay, who wants the first slice of pizza? Uh-oh. Who wants the first slice of pizza? Alright, who wants the first slice of pizza?
It's gonna be death.
What?
What?
Huh?
Cake?
What? It looks like this is gonna take a while to clean up. I want to remove this part here so we can work on the box, and once the box is here, then we're gonna remove this part and we're gonna work on the t-shirt. So for now, we're not gonna bother with this, we're gonna bother with this. Good, at least this part is pretty solid. And now we can flip it and work on this. We're upside down and we have to do pretty much the same thing here now on this side. This hole shouldn't be here, this hole shouldn't be here. So we have to take this out, repair this whole section and then install the box. And actually we have to repair this as well, without removing the support, I hope. We'll figure out a way. Alright, so it's all cleaned up and I'm just debating here how to proceed, because I'm starting to get really concerned about the geometry, and I'm afraid that if I start cutting more out of this, the frame might collapse. For now, I think it's good. I'm sure that it would show if it sucks down, this piece here would bend. What I was thinking was to patch this with one piece and then cut a square here and weld a new piece from here all the way up there, and of course repair this before that. This side, which is pretty solid, just missing the top part. But for this reason, I have to cut this out, I have to repair this thing and then weld this back. And if I cut this out, I'm afraid then I'm gonna lose the geometry. So what I might do actually is I'm gonna patch this piece separately here, only this, and then I will be more comfortable to cut the top part out and repair this and install new top part. And because this is structural, I'm gonna overlap it here. I'm not gonna do butt welding, I'm gonna overlap it and I'm gonna weld it so it's more solid. And once I have this side solid, then I'm gonna be more comfortable and I will be able to cut out this and replace it. Okay, so this is my patch. I made it just a little bit bigger than the opening, so it overlaps a little bit. I don't know what you call that, but I have this tool which can make a little ridge at the end here, so it comes out. But to be honest, I don't really care here if it is flush with this surface, because here is where the box comes, so this is not going to be seen. So for here I'm going to keep it like that. I'm just going to weld it, even though it's going to be a little bit deeper. But for here, then we're going to try to make ridges at the ends of the patches, so we can make them flush with this surface. I didn't weld it on top on purpose. I welded these three sides because here probably I'm going to have to cut it, but now I'm more relaxed about cutting piece out of here. Now we can see how solid it is. So finally we cleaned all the cancer, let's call it, and now we're gonna start building it up. So first we have to rebuild this piece here, and for this I have maybe this we can bend. This is I don't know, 16 gauge, not sure. I don't have any charts here, but I can measure and tell you how thick it is. So it is 46 thou or 47 thou. So I bent it, and now we only have to bend it. Yeah, I'm gonna use the stretcher here, right? Because we have to stretch this flange. So if we stretch this flange, it's gonna bend, it's gonna curve this way. The only problem is I'm not sure how is it gonna work on this thick metal. Oh, it works. Good. Test it before we overdo it. Or here. Almost there. Okay. That's it. Yeah. It's doing something. First of all, I have to clean it from the rust on the outside. Or actually, I have access from here. Ah, I can just do this. Oh yeah, I have pretty good access from here. I don't think I'm even gonna grind it, because it's not gonna be seen here inside the tree, and also for strength, you know? I just have to grind this part. This of course I'm gonna grind at the end. Okay, so this is what I came up with as a patch for here. I don't know whether I should clean up inside. Actually, inside is surprisingly clean. The bottom, which is the top part, is actually still not rusted. Let me show you. I'm actually surprised how good it looks here. It doesn't even have a surface rust inside here. I don't know if I can do anything for inside, because even if I do here, what's that gonna help me? The whole frame is unprotected inside, so maybe at the end we're gonna spray wax oil inside, and hopefully that's gonna keep it safe. Yeah, I'm not gonna do anything. This is how it fits. Obviously I left holes here for plug welds, but this rear end, we have to weld that first, just by shoving a screwdriver inside from here and lifting it like that. I have this broken tool, which I kept forever for no reason, and now I figured out why did I keep it. Because that's gonna help me now to push all the way again. Huh? I knew there was a reason to keep it. Alright, so the next point of interest is this. And here, this part is how far it needs to go. We have to build up the side and the top part to match this. I have to pull the box out and test fit it here to see how it needs to fit. So this is what it looks like when I cut all the rust out. So everything is cut out, but we have another piece that's gonna fit and replace what we cut out. And it fits just like this. So we're gonna have to weld it here, here, and here, but we're not gonna weld it here, and even we're gonna have to make a slot here and open it a little bit, because this box is coming here, right? This is the trailing arm support. I don't need this for now. And there's a slot here, so if I bend this down like that, now this needs to go a little bit more that way, but that's we will need the jig to determine how much. But say it comes like this, so it overlaps here in this slot, and the same thing here at the top, because we have a notch here, and when we put this here, you don't see it now, but we have the same slot here. So this is where the box is going to overlap like this at the bottom and like this at the top, right? And then these pieces, this one, this one, and because we're going to have a slot here, like I said, so this one is going to be bent this way, this one is going to be bent this way. And once the box is inside, fits into these slots, then we're going to push this down towards the box, like we're going to hammer them, and then we're going to weld them around that box when it is there, something like that, you know what I mean? We're going to weld them here. So it's welded, these are open, so now they are ready to accept the box inside, Just I can't show you right now because it needs to be trimmed on this side, so it goes that way, and then it's gonna be shoved inside here. To do that, we will have to flip the frame again, and the rest of the repair is gonna be done on the top side. So we have it the right side up, and we have our jig here, which is gonna help us to position the box in the exact place where it's supposed to be, based on these holes here, the mounting holes for the body. Right, so on the box we have a short distance and a long distance to the holes, and the long distance goes towards the side, so it goes like that. And now we have to make it fit in such a way that this nut matches this hole and this nut matches this hole. So it needs to go inside here, like we said, but we have to trim it here so it can go more that way. So now the playing begins. So another ½ inch. This I'm not gonna cut, this I'm gonna bend, so we have a flange that we can weld around. You know what I mean? Not bad. I'm gonna put the nuts here. We're gonna do this and the cover, which is over there, we're gonna do them separately. Okay, so we are there. Alright, so now we know that this is the perfect position for this box. It's in the right place because these two holes match. Now the only thing is we have to fit the cover too. I can mark here exactly where the cover needs to end. Right here. And this side, actually we're not going to trim this side. This side can go inside this box, so we have to trim only one side. So we're going to take it out again and we're gonna finish that. So now based on our mark here, we know that the cover needs to end here. But we will do the same thing. We're gonna bend it. So we're gonna cut those ears on the side, but this part we're gonna bend. I'll show you what I mean. So this is what I mean. See? But this is too long, maybe we can shorten it a little. I might need a new disc already, or not yet. One more test fit. Once we fit it perfectly, we're gonna take it out one more time and we're gonna paint everything inside. Okay, so this flange here fits pretty well on the inside, but on the outside I made a mistake and miscalculated something here, and now this is open here. So I'm gonna have to bend this back, and then we're gonna have to do just weld in the corner. I wanted it to overlap, but I don't know how. Maybe this end was not in when I was marking this, and that's why I miscalculated, but that's not a big problem. So we're gonna have to straighten this and we're gonna weld it. So let's take it out and paint it inside. Okay, I couldn't resist and I welded a piece back here and I bent it, so now it fits better there. We have a flange that we can weld on the corner, and I painted everything inside. Even here I painted, I don't know if you see it in the dark. And here inside I painted as much as I could. And while we're waiting for the paint to dry, we're gonna do something else here. You remember how there's a hole here underneath? Yeah, I think we're gonna do this repair while we are waiting for the paint to dry. Actually, I'm gonna show you that in the next video because this one became too long. So let's focus on the trailing arm support here. Now we have to weld it here, but now we have paint there. Now we have to clean the paint. And final. This time it should be permanent, huh? Hopefully. So now we are ready to tack it in place. And we're gonna try to tack it in as many places as possible, so we are sure it's not gonna move, and then we're gonna take out the jig so we can weld everywhere without any problems. Okay, let's do the same underneath. Alright, so here it is welded on this side, and here though, for some reason I didn't, I cut it too short here, because I was comparing it to the length of these pieces, but actually this needs to be longer. So now I have this piece here, so we're gonna extend it, and I still have to weld inside there and inside here. All right, so the top side is welded as well, all over the place, inside there as well, here outside, everywhere. This hole was filled up. So I'm not gonna grind it yet, I'm gonna grind it later. I'm gonna grind everything. And I'm not gonna grind too much, I'm just gonna flatten a little bit the welds, but I'm gonna keep them as solid as possible. And now, since this side is done, we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So for this side, of course, I'm not gonna hold you here. I'm gonna do it myself. I'm gonna use again the jig. It is double-sided. From that side, it can be flipped and used on this side, so it's universal for left and right. And if you wanna make your own jig, just watch that video. That's where I built mine. And all you need is some 1x1 square tubing and somewhat solid frame. Of course, you need, if it is long gone, your frame, then it's gonna be really hard to make a jig without the frame. Yeah, really happy I have it. Wouldn't sell it. Okay guys, I think that's gonna be it for this video. I'll see you in my next one, right? Let's say that. Bye.